Cars taken to the grid as we begin the countdown now for those lights coming on the RaceRoom Racing Experience gantry as we get prepared for 30 minutes of furious action here in Spielberg, Austria. Lights are on the gantry, we're waiting for them to time out and we will go racing here. As the lights are out and away we go, stalled car at the front of the grid there. That was Moritz Lerner with a stall on that grid. He has dropped back, Jan Stange boosts up to P number 2 from 5th on the grid. Big launch there from Stange. Huge move for that BWT Mercedes. Up in second place behind Domingo Camano. Already with an early lead. Two Red Bull cars not faring well, Fabian.
No, Klaus Schulze didn't move a single meter on the grid.
Big crash on the grid. Domingo Camano goes round in turn number 2. He and Moritz Lerner will off the edge of the track, and Camano comes out worse. That car being flipped into the inside barriers. We'll get a replay up there if we can. But furious action early on. We haven't got a replay. I apologise for that one. But out front, it is Sebastian de Grave picking that lead now. With that lead changing already. Jan Stange into P number 2. Denis Emelianenko third. Lerner is in P4. He had a bad start. Not as bad as Klaus Schulze though. He's down to P number 7. Baumgartel from outside the top 10. Running P number 5, Fabian.
What an amazing first lap. So many incidents on the racetrack. We have seen drivers taking out each other in turn 1 and turn 2. I guess they're calming down now for a second, but well, they are really aggressive today. And well, we can expect some very nice racing from now on.
We can indeed. Very exciting racing to start this one off, and we've had some big changes already. Field very packed up so far. Not much going on throughout this field. Battles pretty much for every position right now. The only gap we have is from P8 to P9. Daniel Peters says was up from near the rear of your field to P number 9. A points paying position in his first round. Up towards the front of the field, it's still Sebastian de Grave from Jan Stange. Denis Emelianenko, P number 3 right now. Lerner trying to close in and recover his position after a very poor start for that Red Bull Audi. Behind him, the AMG Mercedes of Max Baumgartel holding onto this field. Domingo Camano down in P16 after a disastrous turn 2 for his car. Spun into the inside of the field. We have a big wreck towards the rear of your field there. We'll try and find out exactly what's been going on for that one. We'll have to see if we manage to catch that one on a replay. We may not have done so. Fortunately not, but that's a number of cars. They're in different positions now. Bergnack down to the rear. Dirk Natz, Johan Jocelyn, Harry Dahmen, who was running in P number 9, is now towards the rear of your field. Kinzer qualified 3rd, down in P number 13. So big wreck towards the rear of your field.
Yes, it's unbelievable what we are seeing here today. So there's a big break, a big gap between Baumgartel and Dorneden, 5 seconds, and it's growing. So this might be the first place that was involved in this big accident. So yeah, it's very difficult to follow all the action on the racetrack. So we've seen so many wrecks already and only 17 cars left in the race.
Indeed, we have lost 1 car so far from this field, and that will not probably be the only victim we see today. Looking towards the rear of your top 3 though, that is Denis Emelianenko in 3rd position, closing in on Jan Stange for that 2nd step of the podium right now, but he is under threat from behind by Moritz Lerner. Red Bull Audi trying to get back towards the front of the race and trying to bring this fight. Of course, his teammate started out front, that was the driver of Klaus Schulze, but he lost that early on. Moritz Lerner going to try and capitalise after Zandvoort, where he was stuck behind his teammates and had to settle for a lower paying position. Felt he deserved more, so we'll see if the German driver can try and battle his way towards the front of this one. Early on though, he's in a good position, P number 4, as Emelianenko tries to find a way past Stange, who's on route for back-to-back podium finishes after a season of quite quiet results, Fabian.
Yeah, and we see Klaus Schulze being on a mission. He already reduced the gap to 4 seconds in the meantime, so he is coming closer to the drivers. Of course, they're battling from P2 to P5.
Yep, slowdown penalty for Denis Emelianenko. He's dropped a bunch of positions there. He will be down to running in P number 5. Oh, this is what happens when you cut a corner, trying to go too fast. The stewards have penalised him. He had to give that time back, and it has cost him severely. He's now down to 5th position. Well, that's put Lerner up into P2. He reacted best to that incident in the slowdown. Jan Stanger did not. I believe he also had a slowdown penalty. Baumgartel up to P4. Emelianenko 5th. Still de Grave from Lerner now, but that 1.7 second gap can start to erode as the German driver tries to go after the Frenchman out front in the race right now. Looking back in your field, Peter says facing down Thomas Kinzer for P11, P12. Those two drivers desperate to find their way into the points. Ralph Varela, only a sophomore driver in this series, is up into P10, under threat, but chasing Domingo Camano, a driver who has been at the front of this race for a while.
Yeah, and currently George Giovada and Harry Dahmen are racing next to each other. So very close competition over there. They're fighting for every spot, and we see those race promises to have some more surprises for us, because I didn't expect this race to run that way. At least my pick is up front, so that was not the worst spot I ever made.
Absolutely not. It's been a very exciting race so far. We've seen as Ralph Varela scored up in P 8 right now. That's interesting. Domingo Camano appearing to have some connection problems, which are shuffling him around on the track right now. Down to 17 cars in your field. Ralph Varela down in P16 now, so that's curious. He's definitely having major connection issues. He is scored currently behind Dirk Nats in P 16, so that connection has caused him enough problems. He has dropped back in your field from a points-paying position now to second to last running on the grid. Jan Stanger closing back in on the rear of Max Baumgartel for P 3. Can that BWT Mercedes try and catch in and make a move against their manufacturer stablemate there in the AMG Mercedes? Not looking possible right now as they head up across the top of the circuit, heading for corner number 3 right now. Stanger got to really be patient here, of course, Fabian. He needs to wait for that moment and the opportunity to set up Baumgartel and try and make a pass there, running both very wide. A lot of drivers using every inch of this track. It seems to be costing a lot of them with slowdown penalties, so you'd think they'd be a lot more patient, especially with drivers like Stanger already having taken one.
Well, on the one hand, they are going to be much more patient. That's true. But on the other hand, they see, okay, we just have 22 minutes left in the race, and I want to have back that position. So it's very difficult, and the draft is incredibly, it's a big factor in this race. So you really lose a lot of downforce on the front of your car, especially if you're running that close to the other car as Jan Stanger is at the moment. So he's within 0.3, 0.4 seconds to Max Baumgartel. So it's very difficult to manage to get through the turns here today.
It is indeed, but of course you also have the DRS system on those cars as Baumgartel runs wide out of turn number 3. Very simple pass there for Jan Stanger. He will take P 3 and start his process of chasing down Moritz Lerner 3 seconds ahead of him on the racetrack. But we're on board with Max Baumgartel now chasing down the Mercedes in front of him. That BWT machine, he made the mistake of letting him past. Running wide, of course, biggest error you can have on a track like this. So much time lost, Fabian. But we were just saying, of course, the draft is powerful here. Drivers also have use of the DRS system. Remember, in DTM, those drivers have that when within 1 second of the car in front of them. They can deploy that at their choice anywhere on the track. So this is not limited to a DRS zone. And you'll see, of course, drivers able to use that anytime they like. The real opportunities here we have from the final corner to turn 1 and turn 1 up to turn 2.
Yes, there are some great places to use the DRS system. And, well, we see DRS right now, so it works at this track. But there are so many places to really benefit from the DRS system. It's so difficult to make the decision where you want to use it. And yeah, you want to benefit from it. You want to get the best out of it, but you have to make sure that you will be able to defend yourself. And now Jan Stanger is a big problem since Denis Emelianenko is also trying to make the pass.
He is. He tried to make a move back at Baumgartel and he's lost momentum. That allowed the car of Emelianenko up the inside there. That Castrol Edge car getting right up the inside there, but he's holding him off for now. Bit of fender banging going on as those drivers battle hard for position. We knew there'd be some bent metal here at Spielberg, but well, they're working on it early as we have still 2/3 race distance to go today. Out front, of course, Sebastian de Grave leads the way after a tumultuous start to this race. Moritz Lorna chasing him down in P number 2. He was 4 seconds back at one point. That's down now to 1.6 seconds. Behind him, Max Baumgartel, Jan Stange and Denis Emelianenko fighting out for position there. Although Emelianenko will be scored ahead of Stange this time by the start-finish line. Klaus Schulze, your pole sitter, down to P number 6, trying to recover. He is now fighting for that position from Stange. Behind them, Dorniden, Kamano, Ime, Inza, Darman, Delvada, Zes, Jocelyn, Nats, Arella and Bachneck. Those cars still running on the track. We'll have a focus on Klaus Schulze now, trying to recover your pole sitter back into that top 5 as he's up the inside there of Jan Stange. Can he complete the move into turn 3? He will do it early. Good tactical move there by Schulze using his DRS system. Will get up the inside, completed very easily here before turn 3. Jan Stange hemorrhaging positions right now. He had been running as high as 2nd, looking to equal his previous run at Zandvoort, but just not being his day-to-day, Fabian.
Oh, this race is not over yet, so we've seen so many position changes so far, so I wouldn't count Jan Stange out. So he's still in contention for being up there in P2s, not impossible for him. We've seen so many wrecks over here, and Moritz Löhner is closing the gap to Sebastian de Grave, and we've seen Sebastian de Grave being so aggressive the last time, but the last time he had to overtake his opponents. Now he's in the defending position. Let's see what he will do in that position. It's a very interesting race, and Klaus Schulze came back from several off-track incidents so far, so he's now behind Denis Emelianenko, and I'm sure he will pass him, and then Max Baumgartel is the next one he's going to hunt down. So a very interesting race, and I am not very sure what is going to happen, and Klaus Schulze just made the pass.
Did indeed. Klaus Schulze passes Max Baumgartel. He will take that 4th position on the racetrack. The German driver working his way back towards the front of this race. Those cars in a train here. We have 4 cars really under a blanket now. We have Emelianenko, Schulze, Baumgartel and Dorniden now. Just all over the place. As Stange goes down to P number 7 now, pushed down 1 more spot. Those Audis really dominating your top 4 right now. Well, dominating the top 10. There are 4 Audis in the top 4. 1 in P6 and 1 in P number 10. We have 4 Mercedes in top 10, and they're from P5, 7, 8 and 9. The only BMW running, that is Dirk Natz in P number 15, so very lonely down there. Dominant car choice in this field so far today, Fabian, is the Audis. They are so popular here, and just, well, as you see, filling out the top 4. Obviously, possibly the better car.
Well, at least the car is driven by very, very strong drivers. So we have seen all the drivers up front all the season. So, yeah, of course, the manufacturer is an important factor, but also the drivers. And we are actually seeing the best of the best right here. They have to qualify through time trial sessions. It's very, very difficult to get into the race, and they
just a moment, Fabian, we have a move made on Emelianenko by Schulze. DRS was deployed down the straight. Schulze tried to block, but Emelianenko, I apologize, tried to block as they come into turn number 2, and it will be Klaus Schulze scored in P number 3. Final step to podium there for the German as he gets it past the other driver through turn number 2. Bit of fender rubbing there. Very intense there as we get the same thing behind from Dorniden on Baumgartel. Those drivers desperate to make spots at this stage of the race.
Yes, patience is not really that present at the moment. So a lot of drivers are losing the patience, although we still have half of the race left to go. But yeah, they want to have the best result possible because the standings don't count anymore. They want to have a very, very good single event position, and they are fighting for it as hard as they can.
They are indeed. Of course, we've had some losses so far, but well, most drivers recovering from those major incidents as we have Dorniden there. And P number 6 chasing Max Baumgartel. P number 5, he wants to be in that position himself. He'll be using that DRS this time by. He's not. He's saving it for the out of turn number 1, I suspect. As we'll come around the corner here, we'll see that light up on his overlay. It does indeed. DRS light lit green. That wing is stowed in the low drag position, allowing higher straight line speeds for Alex Dorniden as he chases down Baumgartel. Will he be in position? He won't be there in time. Perhaps, no, he looks at the inside anyway as he goes up for a dive bomb. And Baumgartel undercuts him there, out of the corner. and will hold that position. Lovely defensive driving there from the German.
Yeah, amazing racing everywhere on the racetrack, and still pretty fair. So we've seen that a little bit different this season in the real DTM. But so far everyone is treating the other drivers pretty fair. So nice racing, and I guess every one of them is enjoying it very much today.
They are indeed. Shout out to Fernando Torres, of course, in Twitch chat. Asks to send a hug to Brazil. Well, I'm sending you a virtual hug right now. Got a replay up, of course, of that pass with Dorneden and Baumgartel. As you see there, Dorneden just overcooks it into the corner, dives at the inside, and shoots past Baumgartel, who has a very easy job of just tightening that exit, undercutting and holding the spot. So, nice tactical defensive spot there from the German Mercedes driver. Up front, though, it's still De Grave from Lorna, from Schulze, from Emelianenko. Gap widened now back to 1.8 seconds between Lorna and De Grave. Just nothing they can do to gain on Frenchman out front. Sebastian De Grave having a pretty flawless race after inheriting his current lead from a very, very tumultuous start, Fabian.
Yes, but he's putting great stability to the gap to Moritz Lerner, so it's moving within 0.5 to 2 seconds, 1.5 to 2 seconds. So a very stable gap, and that's going to allow him to drive in a very relaxed way. So he can really focus on hitting his marks, and that's a big, big advantage for him, especially in this race, which was so chaotic so far. And he's in the best position to win this race, and well, it would not be a big surprise for me.
Absolutely not. He is in indeed a prime spot. Clean air allowing him to make sure he has the optimal line through the corner. No need to feel too pressured to take extra chunks out of apexes and suffer a slowdown penalty. So in a good spot right now to take the victory here at Spielberg, Austria, the Red Bull Ring. As somebody asked previously on Twitch chat, yep, this is the same track they run Formula 1 here in Austria, formerly known as the A1 Ring. Was taken over by the Red Bull Corporation, and what a racetrack we have. Amazing, exciting racing in all the series that run here, of course. Not only do we have Formula 1 and DTM, we have, of course, the ELMS 4 Hours of the Red Bull Ring that also runs here, so a site of GT racing as well. Just an awesome track, and from driving here myself, Fabian, and I'm sure you have, it's fast, it's furious, it's very, very intense.
That's absolutely right. It's a very, very unique track. We have seen several unique tracks on the schedule so far, but this Red Bull Ring really it's such a fast track, and you cannot imagine it's really, really, really fast. You don't have chicanes over here, so you have only turns. Okay, some are a little bit more narrow than others, but it's so great to run here. You are able to follow your opponent over most parts of the tracks within a very, very tight margin. So a great track, and I'm glad we are here, and it's providing a great race.
We have an incident on the track, and that is Peter C. down to last position right now, as is Jager teammate. We've had an incident with those drivers. Hopefully we've caught that one on camera. Lots of smoke as the Red Bull Audi of teammate tries to get away from that site of the incident. That was up near turn number 3. Dive bomb incident there with Yagatime just getting hit there by Peter C. So not a great position for them to be in. Also had incident for Jan Stange. He's dropping through the standings as well now. So unfortunate for Stange, who'd had a great race so far, finding himself now down and out of position. That car actually turned around. He's off the track. So looks like Jan Stange will not be able to rejoin the racetrack. Problems with that race car. He cannot get the vehicle moving. Problems getting into gear. He's retired to the pits, so we might see him leave this race. Well, interesting developments as we just approach the final third of this race here today. Looks like he has in fact retired the car, so Jan Stange has retired from round number 17 here at Spielberg, Austria. Just have to keep an eye on P number 10, 11 and 12, that is Dirk Natz, Harry Dahmen and Georges Devada in P number 9. Battle for the final spot in the points. That is that driver in the middle there in the Shell BMW, the Shell Helix Ultra BMW there, running in P number 10, Dirk Natz. He's that points hinge position, of course. Devada in the points, Natz in the points. Dahmen, well, he wants to be in the points. He's running now back in P number 11 in the Hoffman Group Audi, trying to find a way past that being ahead of him. Just Fabian not able to really find a way past. He's tried a few times, not quite as desperate to brake and dive bomb into the corners as we've seen some drivers do today. So Harry Daman taking it quite steady here, looking for an opportunity rather than forcing one.
Well, he seems to be able to read the clock. We still have 10 minutes left, and it's unbelievable to see such a big wreck as we've seen a minute ago. 4 drivers taken out, so that's really a lot, and at this stage of the race it's surprising me a bit. So Harry Daman is, well, doing it right, so he is following Dirk Natz with patience, and he's looking for his chance, and that might come right now.
It is indeed there, as we see Natz up the inside. He had the DRS system deployed from following Devada, but as did Harry Daman behind him, so those cars really not managed to break away. More of a defensive deployment there from Dirk Natz rather than offensive, so this fight being extended into the final third of this race as we have now 9 minutes scored to complete. He's off the track. Dirk Natz runs wide through turn number 3. P number 10 has now gone to Harry Daman. Dirk Natz down to P number 11 there, big off for him. Just overcooking that entry, nowhere to go.
Yeah, patience is paying off for Harry Daman, and when we are watching the leader, Moritz Löhner is within DRS range, so he might want to attack Sebastian de Graeve, and let's see if he will defend himself as aggressive as he was overtaking last week.
Absolutely, and this is what we wanted to see. We wanted to see a fight for your lead. We didn't want to see a leader running off into the distance as he runs wide. Oh, big contact there between the two of them, but it will be Löhner who goes to the point. Bit of an aggressive defense there from de Graeve, or I hesitate to call that one a swipe, Fabian, but it looked very much as though he did not want to be passed.
Oh, I get that's exactly what he not wanted to happen, but now he is in the position to hunt down Moritz Löhner, and now we will see if he will be as aggressive by overtaking as he was last week. Well, I expect him to be very motivated to gain back P1. He was there for 22 minutes, so he really thinks he has a right to be there, and Moritz Löhner really has to make sure to be very, very clean right now just to defend himself.
I think Moritz Löhner will have to push that car super hard to make a gap against de Graeve. We've seen how he can be when he's attacking, and with that defensive move there, very evident that he desperately wants that P number 1. I have to say it, Fabian, I think that was definitely an aggressive swipe there as de Graeve almost tried to bounce the car of Löhner out of momentum, leaving that corner, and I don't want to say wreck, but it was close to that point there as he goes defensive to the inside. Löhner protecting the inside for the corner. De Graeve around the outside. Will he hold the car there? He does. So respectful for now for Sebastian de Graeve. Of course, the harder these drivers fight, the more it will bring the Red Bull teammate there of Löhner, Klaus Schulze, into play. He's only 1.6 seconds back now, so this will really make things interesting if we have 2 Red Bulls up there with the Playboy Audi there of Sebastian de Graeve. He's managed to make a bit of a gap now, Moritz Löhner, so he can try and get that rhythm going as we talked about before with de Graeve. He can put the fast laps in without having to worry about being hit from behind, so he can definitely push harder now and try and make that gap widen. This will be exactly what Moritz Löhner wants. He felt he had a car that could run up on that podium last week at Zandvoort. Can he take the win today? This will be an awesome result for the German driver.
Yes, and Klaus Schulze tries to come back to the front, so he's already back in P3 after so many off-track incidents. That's a big surprise, and that really shows he's fighting. And, well, of course, he's just 1.6 seconds. Race if that continues the way it's going right now.
Well, we will have to see, but Harry Daman down in P number 10, of course, past Dirk Natz when he ran wide in turn number 3, chasing down Georges Devada ahead of him. The Belgian driver now under threat for that 9th position in the standings. But things have gotten very close at the front now as, well, Sebastian de Graeve's dropped back a second from Löhner, who is now within half a second of your pole sitter Klaus Schulze, who's found his way back onto the podium steps. Now he's clawing for another step higher as he chases down the Frenchman who had led 2/3 of this race so far today. Will it be in vain? Will he now be down to 3rd place? Will Denis Emelianenko catch up and get involved here? Will we see the French driver dropping even further down your standings? Emelianenko certainly wants that to happen as we have 5 minutes remaining now as the drivers head down towards turn number 3. The gap widening between your leader and De Grave as it's dropped back again. It's still about 1 second. Schulze within half a second. The gap to Emelianenko 2.2 seconds to Schulze. Behind there, Dornaden in P number 5. Baumgartel in 6th. Kamano 7th. Kinzer 8th. Harry Dahmen 9th. He's taken that position from Georges Devada. Now he's under attack from Dirk Natz in P number 11.
Yeah, a lot of overtakes today. No big surprise actually. We have so many great passing spots on this track. And Klaus Schulze is preparing everything to overtake Sebastian De Grave, so he's
spinner
very
in the
close.
final corner. Sorry, Fabian, we have a spinner. That is the car of Dirk Natz. He's lost it through the final corner. That car has backed off the racetrack. He's running again, but he is many, many seconds behind the cars he was chasing. A whole 7 seconds back now.
Yeah, this final corner seems to be pretty tricky today. We have seen so many spins and wrecks there. That's surprising me a bit, but of course it's going down the racetrack, so you're very fast and you have to take the turn, and
oh, Fabian, back to the front. Sorry, back to the front. Schulze is all over the rear wing there of Sebastian De Grave for 2nd position. 2/10 of a second between those two drivers now as we have a real battle on our hands. We've seen just how hard De Grave is prepared to defend today. We've seen how hard he's willing to attack last week. We now have a real battle on our hands between the French driver and the German in front and behind him as the two Red Bulls sandwich that Playboy Audi in P number 2. Will Schulze be able to do anything here? He will be trying to be saving his DRS. He's going to wait for out of turn number 1. He will try and optimize that exit here and try and find his way past on the run up to turn number 2. We'll see that DRS light come on as he deploys it. Will we? No, he's saving it again. Will he use it out of turn number 2 here? And a short run to 3. This could be an interesting option as we see a defensive line there. Oh no, he's passed him cleanly. That was very, very easy for Schulze without his DRS system deployed. Frenchman down to P number 3, Fabian.
Yeah, the draft itself seems to work pretty well as well. So Schulze now in P2 and already pretty close to Moritz Lohner, so he is going for P1 now.
Yes, he is. We could see the Battle of the Bulls here at the Red Bull Ring. How appropriate, we have 2 Red Bull cars out front at their namesake track. I can think of a certain few people who'd be very pleased with this result in Red Bull's corporate structure. But, yeah, not something we've seen in Formula 1 recently, of course. But we have Moritz Lohner out front from Klaus Schulze in P number 2. Now the Battle of the Bulls commences. 0.3 of a second between your 2 lead cars as 2 minutes remain. Just under 2 laps left on the play clock. Now we're down to the wire. There is no cruise home for victory for Moritz Lohner, as we thought Sebastian De Grave would. Now we are in a dogfight to the finish here. The ring has come alive with the sound of engines, as these DTM race cars will go head to head now for the final 2 racing laps here at Red Bull Ring. Moritz Lohner holding that position, coming through turn number 1 up to number 2 now. Will he be able to hold off his team? We saw the draft effect we saw there with him, with De Grave. That's Schulze to the outside. He will be on the outside level. He won't hold it though. Schulze with the undercut. He will try. He's up level. He'll have the inside line for turn number 3. Can he hold that position as he'll go past? This will give Schulze the Lohner, I apologize, the opportunity in the final lap though. Will he be able to hold him off? Will he find the undercut here? Will he save that move? He sticks on the outside, pushing wide. Will this give an opportunity to Sebastian De Grave? We see how hard he's willing to fight. Can he find a way through as well? Can he sneak through to victory here at Red Bull Ring? Schulze now leading the way from Lohner. This is getting incredible, Fabian. This is not going to end.
Yeah, we have still 1 whole lap left after this one, so nothing is over yet. And Klaus Schulze, well, he started on pole, he's back in P1, but it was not as easy as it sounds, so he really had a trip to make in the race. Now De Grave is hunting down, and Lohner is off track.
Lohner's off, Lohner's gone. Moritz Lohner has lost it in the final corner. Contact with Sebastian De Grave there has cost Moritz Lohner heavily. We have a replay up now. No, we don't have a replay. Sorry, that's another problem we just had there. Sorry about that. But Lorna in P number 3, De Grave down to P number 4, Emelianenko up to P number 2. So that's we do have one. I apologise. We have got a replay. We're going to show that for you now. As you see there, Fabian, just contact there in that final corner has put those two cars around and out of the race, but they're back in P3 and 4. Not what they would have wanted to happen, but it's just not ideal.
It was just a question of time before this happened. So, yeah, they really fought hard for the position, and now they both lost it.
We have a battle for P number 9. That is Devada and Dahmen. Dahmen trying to chase down Kinzer. Will he be able to do anything here? Try and take that P8 in the final lap of the race. I should say, starting from pole, he is your race leader once again. Of course, he took that from Moritz Lohner. The battle's over now. We were expecting a glorious fight to the end here at the Red Bull Ring between the two bulls. But unfortunately, incident between Sebastian De Grave and Moritz Lohner cost those two drivers positions. Dennis Emelianenko up to P number 2 here, as Klaus Schulze will be your winner at the Red Bull Ring here in Austria. P number 3 will go to Moritz Lohner. Sebastian De Grave comes home P number 4. Alexander Dorniden, P number 5, great result for that driver. Domingo Camano, P6, Max Baumgartel, P number 7. Thomas Kinzer holds on to P number 8, as Harry Dahmen has to settle for 9th. Georges Devada, P number 10. Even after his spin, Dirk Natz will come home P number 11. Ralph Arela, P number 12. Johan Jocelyn, P13. Peter S. in 14th. Nick Barknecht, 15th. Jager Time, P16. That will be the final race standings here today at Red Bull Ring. That's it, the racing is complete. Schulze, I believe, is coming home to just park that in pit road as he completes his cool-down lap. But incredible action here. Somewhat muted at the end, Fabian. We were expecting a real duel, but it was still an amazingly intense race.
It was much more intense than I expected. So many passes, so many wrecks, so many close battles all over the track for the whole 30 minutes. That really proved why the DTM Virtual Championship is so competitive as it is. And well, it was the second to last race, so we only have one round left later on, and that's going to be well, pretty interesting to see. We have seen such a great race the last time we've been at Hockenheim, and we're going to see another great race next week at Hockenheim. And now I guess you already have an interview partner.
We do indeed. In fact, we're joined by Moritz Lohner. Moritz, heartbreak today. You charged to the front of this race. You led laps. You obviously lost that to Klaus Schulze. But what happened between yourself and Sebastian De Grave?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really angry now because he ran into my back as I braking for the last corner, and yeah, he ran in my back and pushed me out. I hardly can save my car from spinning, but yeah, the second place is lost, and maybe in the last lap I could have been with first, cause at the straight I could have overtake Schulze, and yeah, I'm very angry.
Well, we saw the advantage of the draft there, and you would have had that position on Klaus Schulze in prime position to take that lead in the final lap. Of course, that denied you by the incident we saw there, and obviously you already have a incident protest lodged with the officials with the same driver, I believe. So this could be a second one.
No, this time it was De Greaves, and last time it was Emelianenko. But yeah, I think Schulze, I get him the win because he drove so good. He went from, I think, 6th place with so much time behind me, and run at the end so fast till come to us and yeah, overtake us, and he deserved to win, I think.
Well, you still come home P number 3 today, of course, in the race, and on the podium, Moritz Lohner. Awesome race from you, and of course we had your onboard footage today, so thank you for that. Better luck next week as we head to Hockenheim for the final round of the DTM Virtual Championship 2015. This will be the last round, the battle. We've started here at the beginning of the season We've been back twice, but now this will be the finale. This will be the grand ending of the season, and Fabian, I can't wait. Personally, I think it's going to be a blast. Hopefully we get all the drivers back we've seen throughout the season who've perhaps not been around recently. The likes of Keithley and the likes of Tim Heinemann. Also the likes of Davide Toccacelli, Willie Winchart and Gianmarco Fiducci, so even Nikos Kameni. So hopefully an incredible turnout for the final round at Hockenheim. That will be next week, same time at 11 o'clock Central European time for practice. We'll be streaming live from then with commentary starting at practice at 20 to 8. So that's everything from us here today, of course, but we do have one last bit of news. Development stream will be tomorrow, which will be live on the same Twitch channel here, 2 p.m. Central European time, and that will be a development stream with Daniel Jankeller from DTM. So tune in then to catch that. Otherwise, I've been Rachel Whiteford. I've been joined by Fabian Cludd, Laura Lawson on cameras. We've been Live Sim Racing TV. This has been a broadcast for RaceRoom Racing Experience. Join us next week. Goodbye.